Hey everybody, welcome to AfterBuzz TV. You are tuning in for episode 22 of Scorpion for season 2 called Hard Knocks. Stay tuned because we're going to talk about it all. Possibly our first proposal happening on Scorpion. Talk about Wage, talk about Haywood winning his first case in a jumpsuit. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, I know I usually talk about how much I like the song, but I really like this song.
I love this song.
Right? It's so good. Let's not interrupt. Let the song can start. We are so excited to be here. Yay! Scorpion, episode 22. Hi, everybody. I'm Monse Bolanos. Across from me, Susannah Kim. You guys can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. And Susannah, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Susannah_Kim. It's SUSANNAH.
Boom.
Yeah.
So,
So,
what did you think of the episode?
I liked it.
Yeah,
I
me
liked
too.
it a lot.
Me too.
I mean, I wasn't crazy about. No, I liked it. No.
Usually
no,
we
I
say
liked
that.
it.
No, I wasn't crazy about certain. Yeah, I actually don't have many complaints.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, okay, of course there are like a couple things I was like, really?
Really?
But, I mean, like every episode. But yeah, I really like this episode.
I did too.
It was so different.
It was so different. There was a point where I got a little misty, a little teary-eyed.
Oh, yeah.
For like a little moment.
A couple moments, I think.
A couple. One really got me, where I was like, "What's in my eye?"
Yeah, right.
Like, excuse me. This is like feels like water in my eye, dripping down my face. But you know, there was other moments. You're right. I liked it more than I thought I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know, down to like, and I down to like the mission. I felt like the mission was very. This is it. We're gonna keep it short and simple, and we're gonna cushion the episode with the case,
Right.
which was so good, and with a little bit of couples here and there. Like it was sprinkled,
relationship
you know?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that the case stuff was throughout the episode.
Yeah.
Because that's like kind of what, I mean, for me, that's what I love about the show more so than like the missions. I mean, obviously we love, seeing how they figure stuff out, but seeing like their relationships and like their storyline, that is totally more appealing to me.
You're right. I never thought about how normally we just get at the beginning at the end, but this time it was intertwined.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. So let's start with relationships in this episode.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Toby and Happy because I can't wait till the end of the episode to discuss this.
Yeah.
I mean, there was little cute moments throughout the episode. Like I believe one of them where he says two butts or butt two, or he makes a little comment, and then it's when they're all together when they're getting like their mission, and then Happy and Paige both like hit him.
Oh, yeah.
I think he says two butts or something with a butt. Oh, big butt.
Yeah, big butts, yeah.
Big butts.
I
And
feel
that
a big butt coming.
if you guys go back to that moment, I feel like he wanted to laugh. They do a slight cut to him, and maybe it looked like Toby just being Toby, but to me, it was the actor holding that laugh in. And I just like go back to it, guys. It's early in the episode. Tell me what you think, because I totally think it was like almost like a blooper.
Right.
Like seconds into that, they had to cut it because it was like he burst into laughter. That's what I think. But Toby and Happy, so cute.
Yeah.
Might get a proposal.
Oh my god, but that makes me nervous. That totally makes me nervous because I think he's just jumping on it too soon. It's gonna freak her out. It's gonna, cause issues.
Well, duh.
Issues.
I think that's totally what's gonna happen because they're so perfectly happy. Maybe they're gonna throw like, a wrench in the mix, and he's just gonna have this ring for a while.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know, but very cute how he does it. They're back at the garage, end of the episode, and he spills a little bit on her after saying really cute things, like that line where he was like, Paige is talking to Tim, Walter's talking to Linda, when they should be talking to each other, and here we are gonna keep things easy.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's like, we're just chill here.
We're just
real
chilling,
chill.
like
all
cash, drinking beer, and he spills a little beer on her,
and like her ring finger.
On her ring. And what's crazy is when he was doing that, I was like, is that her ring finger? Like I caught that.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, it was so
weird.
Obvious, right? And then I was like,
but she didn't say anything.
Well, she did kind of like brush him. I think like a
She's
little.
Like, all right, that's enough.
She's like, that's enough. I got it. And then she goes and gets like chips and guac or something, is what she says. So you think proposal by the end of the season to cause the drama for season 3?
How many episodes do you have left?
2.
Ooh.
Dos episodes.
I definitely think,
like that is the season finale.
Finale, yeah, not the next episode.
Not the next episode.
I don't know. That's tough. No, yeah. Probably we're gonna see the ring. It's definitely gonna come up. The question of marriage is gonna come up by the finale for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, not a fan.
I mean, I just think he's gonna ruin a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think is gonna happen. I doubt he's gonna like propose. She'll be like, okay, right?
Okay, let's all move into
like,
the garage.
Okay, it's only been like 3 episodes that we've been dating. Let's just get married now, right?
Yeah. It's not even really like 3 hours of television time.
Right.
So let's get a little more. I'm excited. I don't know. I think that's what the plan is because things are going so well. There's no way that this is just going to keep going so well for season 3. And it's not that we want them to break up. I don't want them to break up.
Right.
But this is totally up the character of Toby.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
To jump to action. You know?
I'm surprised like Sly's just like, oh yeah, let me help you get the ring. Instead of, like,
I get this in an
calm
hour.
down. Right? Like, hold on, wait, who am I talking about? Sly, he's married, he's what, 12?
Oh, that's true. That's true. He is married. He is married. You forgot about that.
Never mind.
It's gonna happen though, guys. It's gonna happen. And also Toby and Walter in this episode. The whole episode, you know, it had to do a lot with Linda, but he basically was like, Linda's not into you.
Yeah.
She likes you because, what did he call it? Damsel syndrome?
Yes. Yeah, she likes the feeling of, you know, being rescued, or, you know, it reminds her of that feeling when she had when, you know, the bomb went off.
Right. Did you think Toby was right?
Oh,
like from the beginning?
Totally.
You know what? I thought that he wasn't, because throughout the episode, she kept calling. So I thought it was going to be like, no, she actually really does like him. And because of how they sprinkled her in, of her being so interested in like getting in contact with him.
I was just thinking of her barfing at the flower thing, and I was like, this girl, you know, like I figured, you know, they had to put that in for a reason. Like,
I mean, it's true that the way this episode opens is Walter taking Linda to a flower opening of a Titan Arum, I think is what he called it. And like, he says that it's a cadaver
flower. Yeah.
Like cadaver when it opens. And she kisses
me of Dennis
him.
the Menace.
Dennis the Menace. Why Dennis the Menace?
In Dennis the Menace, the old guy has that flower that blooms like the one time, and he has this like showing now. And then Dennis ruins it by like, I don't know, something about the garage door. I'm sure someone's going to help me out with that.
Yeah,
but yes.
I don't know, so don't tweet me about that. Tweet her.
Yeah.
Tweet her. What yeah, so the flower. I would have been like, no, I'm cool. I don't need to go to that.
Oh, I'm so down for that. I would love that.
You would love that. That smell, it's like, I can't handle that.
I'm about that too, you know, weird smells. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to smell one more time. It's a little weird.
You are weird with smells.
Yeah,
you are.
Like, oh wait, that's just no. Okay.
So is it good when your friends fart around you because you're like,
no, it's not good. I mean, that's different. You know, I think, but it's because when I worked at the animal hospital, there were so many like different weird smells. Like smells. I was like, oh, that's that virus.
Yes.
Yeah, that's still gross.
It's like when you smell Dexter's ear and you're like, yep, that's an infection.
Yeah, that's
oh, so you can tell by smelling? Okay, that's good. That's like a sixth sense, sort of, right?
Yeah.
Enhanced smell, which I sometimes feel like I have no smell.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like sometimes I just people are like, do you smell that? No, I don't. There's like a skunk right there. No, I don't smell anything, but thank you.
Cool. That's like me.
So will we get Linda back? Because it's like, we thought she wasn't, but we already thought that, and then here she is.
But not really, nah.
Not really,
now that she came back, I'm like, nah.
Not really, nah.
She's done.
All right. Okay, bye, Linda.
Bye, Linda.
We liked you, though. Bye, Linda. And then Walter and Ralph. Walter and Ralph in this episode was such an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, but I liked it because I think it, you know, finally made Walter realize, like, dang, I love this kid.
Right.
You know, and it was good for Paige to see that too.
And it was such a difference from the beginning of the episode of what happened between them to the end of the episode. Because at the beginning, when he's trying to explain to him his coding and how he did it, and he
snaps at him.
Kind of snaps at him, and it seems like he's irritated because he's trying to explain it to him in a dumb it down version.
And I love that they explained why he snapped at him. I love that because I didn't think of that at all. I just thought, you know, that's Walter. He's not aware of, you know, how he talks to a child. So I thought that's what it was. But he actually had like a reason, like, oh, you know, I just felt like you should never have to dumb yourself down for anyone.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad they used those exact words because I thought I wouldn't say dumbed down, but I thought he was irritated that he was like explaining it to him. Not that he dumbed it down, but that he felt like he had to explain it. Yes, that's all I thought it was. So I was glad that they literally said dumb it down, and then he said you don't ever have to do that.
I loved that.
Like, let alone in the garage, because you're gonna have to do it in the outside world.
And that's the only kind of lesson. I mean, that's a lesson that only a genius can teach a genius. You know?
Yeah. And it was so cute because like he
writing.
Snapped at him at the beginning, and then at the end, this whole conversation, he apologizes, telling him off, and then he like tells him what I liked the most was, I guess I'm not the 4th highest IQ.
Yeah, he was like, you bumped me down to 5.
You bumped me down to 5. I mean, that's still good, Walter.
I know, right?
Like, calm
You're still
down.
top 5.
You're still top 5.
Still on one hand.
Yeah, seriously. We need so many people to count the number I am. We need lots of hands and fingers. So cute. I loved all of it. And then like their moment in the courtroom, you know, the whole case. Like, let's talk about that case. Let's bring in Haywood into the relationship with Ralph. Oh my goodness.
Haywood's gunning for my heart. You know, I thought Ray was like my favorite like non-teen character. But I don't know. He's pretty freaking funny.
Yeah, he's good.
Funny.
He brings a different dynamic to this cast.
Yes,
like,
totally.
Like Ray did too.
His sense of comedy is really like different. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well written. I wonder if it's him or it's just well written and he's figured it out. You know,
he has like great like sense of physical comedy too.
Yeah.
Like when he comes in that jumpsuit, I died.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a courtroom scene where it's the lawyer coming in the jumpsuit.
In the
right?
jumpsuit,
I don't think
never.
I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen many a courtroom scenes.
Yeah, and it's like this is part of the episode. We'll talk about the whole case right now, but like the way it starts, it's so funny because Haywood seems awful. Yeah, just like an awful.
I mean,
lawyer. A little bit.
I mean, Ralph pretty much took care of the whole case.
Yeah.
Right? They like gave him a freebie.
Yeah. And part of why I like this so much, and I'm sure you did too, is because of our judge, Judge Tanston, who was Leslie David Baker. I used cursive. I'm sorry. Leslie David Baker, who was in The Office.
Yes.
Love him. Who played, what was his? Stanley, thank you, in The Office. So funny to see him again. In his character, so funny too.
Yes.
Like, but
very blasé. Like.
And he is the judge in this case, and it's not going well. They bring up these like code records that Haywood has no idea about.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
And they need more time because Ralph is like, I can prove that this was my coding, not my professor's, with those codes.
Exactly.
So he buys time. Claiming mental issues that he needs to be evaluated to see if he can.
That Ralph needs to be evaluated.
Right, that Ralph needs to be evaluated. And it's so smart the way he said it, because he was like, well, he's underage. And he's like, if you just let this go, this can be appealed because you didn't, do
just
competency.
put it on the judge.
Exactly. So I was like, that's really smart. I was like, how is he going to get out of this? And as ridiculous as it was, I liked how he got it. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, that's clever. Good job, you not so good lawyer.
Yeah, and it gave him an opportunity to fail again when he really,
right. So and that's how they get a little bit of time. And throughout the episode, we have Ralph, Sylvester, and Paige mainly trying to figure out the coding. His bookmarks is what he says, that he leaves bookmarks in the codes.
Numerical bookmarks.
Yes, and he makes millions of codes, because Paige is like, you're a genius, you can remember it. Paige, calm down. You couldn't have even memorized 10. Let's be real, Paige. But he was like, I didn't think I had to memorize it. That was so cute.
Yeah.
And throughout the episode, like, we get it sprinkled. That's why we like this episode so much. And then we go back to the courtroom because he gets put in jail. He gets put in contempt, Haywood, because he doesn't show up with Ralph by the time the judge said, which is 2 p.m. So when they go back to the courtroom, he comes in his orange jumpsuit, handcuffed, like he can't even really hold anything, and fights for the little guy.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Yeah, and he finally has Toby there to say, okay.
Right, I'm the doctor.
Yeah. Ralph is totally competent, even though the judge is like, I already knew that. Yeah. Like, this was really a waste of my time.
Right. Even this was really, I know, he was like, I don't need you to tell me if you're really a doctor. Right. He started like listing. He's like, I'm Harvard medical, da da da.
I know, he's like, yep,
I'm
that's
good.
enough.
I'm good. That's all I needed to hear. Before we go into that scene where Ralph gives the 3 dates, I want to briefly talk about Paige and Haywood. 2 times in this episode they had really close like moments where she was like, you're not a bad lawyer, like you care about the little guy, and then we find out why he cares about the little guy, right? His little story about his mom,
sweet,
fighting the like heat people, like their heater went away or stopped working, and it made it worse, and they went to small claims court, won it,
got it out.
And
I like later, like at one point in the episode, he's like, this is a lot harder than it seems on TV.
It seems that to Ralph. I love it.
Okay.
It's a lot harder than it seems on TV. But that's one moment where so sweet. And then at the end where she like tells him like congratulations, and then Haywood's like, I keep thinking they're gonna call me in reverse.
I know, He's like, but they can't do that.
They can't do that. They can't. Yeah. I like seeing them together because I feel like Paige always has that really warm side to her, and they showcase it on different people.
Exactly, and that's her doing her job, not just for like the mission.
Right.
Totally outside of the mission, she does that.
She does
for
that.
her son.
Yeah.
It's a good
so
mama.
I was glad to see that, and so funny when he's like on the phone with like when he's already won. They're at the garage, and he's just finished talking to Paige, and he's talking to his mom, and he's like, I can't believe it either, Mom.
Yeah,
that he won. So good,
Right?
so good.
I'm sure she appreciates that.
Right, and the way he won was by the 3 dates that he uses.
Yes.
3 important dates.
It was so sweet.
I know.
It was his birthday.
His
mama's birthday.
mama birthday,
And Jesus is, no, I'm just kidding. And the day that he met Ralph, that he met Walter in the diner.
So that's where I got. So the pilot.
Date of the pilot.
Whatever that.
I wonder if they use this date of the pilot. That'd be hilarious.
That would be really funny.
Look that up.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
funny,
But so cute because that's when I got teary-eyed.
Yeah.
More than in the other ones. Because there's like
Yeah.
little moments here and there. But that one right there, and then they just cut to Walter, and Walter's face is like so
Perfect.
so good.
So good.
So good. And he's like, I could provide proof. I have receipt of when I was there to fix the whatever internet.
And there's like, again, too much.
Too much. And
No,
then
I
he's
made it.
like, also one of my best days, or one of my most important days.
Right, yeah. It's also very important to me.
So cute.
Yes.
I loved it. I was like, stop it, all of that. And we got no Walter and Paige. Aside the snapping. Like when she like jumped in and was like, you don't talk to my son like that.
I loved that.
I know.
Oh my God, I loved that.
Yeah.
Because we never really saw that.
Never.
I mean, not really, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen a little mama bear, but man.
Yeah.
And when she was straight up like, if you do that again, I'm out of here.
Yeah. You're like, preach.
Yes. Hail.
Preach.
All hail mama. Loved it. That was good. That was good stuff.
But I feel like aside from that, we didn't get much of them.
No.
No.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, but we did get a little bit of Paige and Tim. Susannah loves Paige and Tim, and when I say loves, I mean hates. But we get a little. We didn't get much throughout the episode until the end, but it was huge.
Yeah, yeah.
It was kind of huge.
Yeah.
You know, and it was at the same time as Linda and Walter are like
saying bye.
Are saying bye, but you
she
can't
don't know.
hear it. Yeah, because they
on.
end up breaking up because he basically tells her, "You don't like me," and she's like, "Yes, you're right. I just love the way you make me feel because you saved my life." Boom, roasted. And then Paige is like on the side watching but can't hear, and then Tim walks over, and what you said that he's gonna leave to get his back reevaluated so that he can go back to duty. Going to Seattle.
I hope you feel better.
But Susannah's coming back
Get well soon. No.
and he asked for a date,
Done. I don't know.
and she said yes.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Linda could come back.
Nah. I mean, like, I think in the time that this guy's gone, what's his name? I don't even care.
Tim.
This guy, while he's gone, getting his back looked at or whatever, it's like, really, you gotta mention the shrapnel every time. I get it. I feel bad for you. But every time he's like, I gotta get my shrapnel checked. I understand it's probably the writers, like, you know, they gotta remind the audience. But I don't care. I'm hating. I think in the time that he's gone, it's going to give a little bit of a window for Walter and Paige, you know, now that Walter is realizing, like, okay, you know, Linda's out of the picture. Let me actually get to what's real. Maybe with a little help from Toby. Toby's like, hey,
Toby,
you've been a moron.
Yeah.
He's so aware. I love
Yeah.
that he's so aware. Because
Yeah.
he's, like, saying things that we're all thinking.
Right.
Yeah,
What about the super small, I wrote that down, super small scene where Paige is walking into the courtroom with the travel mug and Walter's like, Kate doesn't like it if we take the travel mug. So she's like, oh no, Tim gave it to me. And then his face, your face right now, but his face. And then Sylvester's like, are you sick?
Yeah, right?
It was so funny.
That was funny.
It's
That
just
was
like, you
really
guys
funny.
need to just make it work. We're tired of this yes, no, yes, no. Like,
Right?
make it work, please, because it's going to give Susannah a heart attack.
I'm
And
not liking it.
She's gonna leave me for season 3 of Tim and Paige start dating, and then I'm going to be here by myself, guys.
Yeah.
See what
that's
happens?
true.
Writers of Scorpion?
That is
Are you?
true.
I know you're listening.
Yes.
I know. Nick
You know, I was
Santora,
thinking of that.
creator, I know you're listening.
I was thinking speaking of that, and Paul Grelong, who I love, he wrote a play that I adore that I did like way before I even knew about Scorpion. But anyways, what was it? There's an okay, I don't want to talk about the mission, but when they get to the mission and they bring up the money and they should have just dropped the bag money, I was like, oh, the writers are listening to us, right? Because I feel like every time we're like, how much do they pay?
Yeah, you never give us the amount
so
of
I feel
money.
like that was like straight at us. They were like, okay, you girls want to see some cash?
Here you go.
That's how much they're gonna get paid for this.
Thank you. We appreciate all of that. Yeah, let's get into this money and the mission. We get Agent Cook from Department of Defense. Mark Rolston is the actor. I liked him.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was gonna be that evil, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
I didn't anticipate that. Yeah.
No words.
Yeah, no.
Can't get the words out, but they're there.
They're there.
I trusted him. I didn't think that was gonna happen at all.
Right. Yeah, I thought something was gonna happen, obviously, but not that. Like, maybe that he was gonna keep it for himself for money. Something like that, you know, but like not that he was trying to get this like chemical that can wipe out a civilization
for himself.
Like, if that was crazy. So Agent Cook comes from the Department of Defense, and he says that Fort Knox is a U.S. Army base that recently changed its security system, and claims that they want to show that the security system does not stand up to the standards that they want for this place, because this is like super. Like the most secure place on earth is what they quote, where there's a gold depository controlled by the Treasury, artifacts like the Bill of Rights, which I wonder if that's true. When Toby was like, wait, no, the Bill of Rights is on display at the National Archive Museum in DC, and he's like, no, like the real one, which would make total sense.
Yeah,
like all that stuff to really have somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't believe anything anywhere.
I don't believe anything. Like nothing that you tell me is true.
Anything touched by the government, I'm like, nah, that can't be real.
I'm not saying it's at Fort Knox, but it's probably somewhere else than what we're supposed. That's crazy. Anywho, so they're trying to prove that the security is bad, steals some security, and to prove it, they have to basically break in, steal a scepter, a Russian scepter, that was taken because of a dispute between Germany and Poland, they say. So it's like this really ancient artifact.
Right. It's covered in jewels. And they have to do this completely off the books. Yeah. That's what I was like, seriously? This is crazy. Yeah. But for some reason, I totally believed it. I totally bought it. I was like, okay.
You're like, this makes sense. Okay. This makes sense.
I was all up for it. Little did I know, halfway through the episode, they become the bad guys.
Right. Which, it wouldn't shock me if that's really, like, I feel like that is how you have to do it. You can't tell the White House, hey, we're going to try this trick. Right. So that you can see. It's like you just have to do it. Right. And that way it proves it. Yeah. But they say off the books, if they get caught, they're all alone. That the DOD and the White House, nobody's going to say that they're behind it. They're going to deny it. So it's like you're screwed no matter what. Right. But they get $1 million cash just thrown at them.
Yeah. Like physically, literally.
Yeah. And Toby's like, can I smell it?
Yeah. I would have said the same thing. I would have been diving in there.
Right? And we fit in there. That bag was big. I could have gone in there. He throws it at them, and it's just like, do you do that? What would you have done?
Oh, yeah.
Easily? No questions asked.
I mean,
like right now, if somebody came at you and me to do something that we could do, not something like this, but something that we could do, go undercover as, immigrants from Korea and Costa Rica or something.
Yeah. Totally believable.
Yeah, do something. And they threw like $500,000 at us. We're not worth $1 million. They threw like $500,000. You're right.
$500,000.
What you'd be like, let's do it. Even if it's like we could get caught and they're not gonna have our back.
$500,000. So it's like $250,000 each.
Yeah. So you would do it for $500,000 for yourself? She's so sweet, and humble. Not greedy.
I mean, it depends on what it is. Like if because our lives would be at risk. They know that they could die in this mission. Right. Yeah, I'm down for it.
It just I don't know if I could, but then I watched this episode and I'm like, well, these guys are geniuses, and they've been saying that they don't have as much feelings, or they think more logically with facts, while we would think with like fear and emotion.
And they're so confident about what they're doing.
Are we?
Nah.
See, it would have to be something we have to be
exactly.
That's what I mean.
But I mean, like, I think like, okay, if someone's gonna give me that amount of money to, go skydiving or something, that's risking my life. I could die.
Yeah, that's the same.
Right? Yeah. But you know what I mean?
That's not the same.
But yeah, it's exciting.
So
I would be down.
Yeah. So in order to convince Scorpion to go, Tim kind of undermines them with their smarts, Happy's vault cracking abilities, or he's just crack into a vault, right? I mean, I know it's a lock, but her lock cracking abilities.
He manipulates their ego. I think that's what Paige said.
And he says that he learned from the best, meaning watching Paige. He knows what he's doing. He's planting this. He has planted the seed, and he is watching it grow.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines in this episode happened in this, when Happy, because he's like, "Do you think you can crack everything, every lock, whatever?" And she responds, "Easy, prom king. I can crack any case."
Yeah.
I was like, "Good, go Happy." So they got to do this, and they get kind of tricked into it by being a little bit. What'd you say? Stroking their ego in a sense.
Manipulating their ego.
Manipulating their ego. So they actually go, but it's a little tricky because their whole system is offline. They can't just like kind of crack it. They got to sneak onto the base.
Of course.
And I like how that was shot. How they were explaining how they were going to do it, and then they were showing us
very Ocean's 11.
Yes, loved
that.
all of that. I was thoroughly enjoying that. And they showed that they can get, basically they have to sneak in. They create this spill of water. Using the hacks that they can do. They create a spill in them, and they have to call maintenance. And then when they call maintenance, they intercept the call, and it's Sylvester, and he's like, "Yes, I'm going to send you some plumbers."
Yep.
We got
send you my people.
3 plumbers are sent, and how do they sneak in? With Cabe and Tim. Sneaking basically the car in, and then coming out of the trunk. Yeah. Which I was like, that seems a little easy. Where's everybody?
Don't you think Fort Knox would check the trunks of the cars?
Yeah, I mean, maybe not check their, but I feel like, isn't there people around?
Oh, yeah. You mean like where they got out?
Right, because it's like, you know what? Maybe they don't check the trunk because Tim and Cabe have their badge. Fine.
Yeah.
Don't check the trunk. I get it. But once, I feel like they were let out in an open area.
Right.
Are there just some people over there shooting bombs?
Yeah, right. That's true. Because where those people were like shooting their things like later, target practice or whatever, it seems like it's a pretty wide area. So maybe there is like, you know,
hiding
some space from the front gate to the actual house.
All right.
It's a real long driveway.
All right. Fine. We'll give it to them. So that's how they sneak onto the base, and they knock everybody out with their knockout gas that is in the vault. They have 30 minutes, or not in the vault, in the base. They have 30 minutes to get to the vault and take the scepter.
Everyone's just dropping
like flies.
So that's easy.
Yeah, and we find out that this new security has put in a new security guard in a position they were not prepared for, because Cabe and Tim sneak onto the base saying that they're going to go talk to the colonel about their security and saying that Homeland has their back.
And he's the one that mentions, oh, by the way, I think the only thing that's different is this one thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, perfect.
You're
so
like,
glad
thank
you told
you.
us. Now, after we like are at the guy.
Right, and they're staring at the guy. Because Paige is like, you guys hear that? And they're like literally staring at the guy. All 4 of these people have masks. And I like how they took him down.
Yes.
Because when I was watching, I was like, what are you gonna do now? Fight him? Because he's not like, he has to be prepped to fight you and take you down.
Right.
So he puts them like against the wall, and this guy doesn't know what's going on. He's just trying to get somebody's, on the call. They turn off the lights, and he's like, haha, I have a night vision mask.
I love this part.
And
with
then the flashlights.
I liked that part. The part after they take him down, I'm kind of like...
When they take the mask off? Or just when they take him down? I feel like
they should have taken the mask off like from
right
the
away.
get-go. Because it was hard for me to believe that Toby and Walter were holding this big guy down with his gun, you know?
And it didn't look like a game of Twister.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Just like,
they're just like having a conversation.
Yeah.
He's like, your butt's in my face.
Yeah.
Like, really? Right now?
Yep. But I feel like that's how it would be between them. I mean, you're right. Take the mask off right away, and then you don't have to fight it.
And they can still have that conversation after they are down with the guy. But,
right.
You know, I was just like, that was only one thing.
Yeah, we're just being nitpicky here.
I know, right?
But they take him down, take the mask off, and they have about 30 minutes to open this, little less than 30 minutes. Happy starts to unlock the vault with tremors that shake depending on when she gets the right number. But the army base is like
target practice
practice, and it's messing up her, tremors and her calculations. Yeah, and then she tells the 2 damsels behind her to shut up because she can't figure it out. And Cabe and Tim go distract them basically from stopping these practice shots or whatever.
That. I like Tim's line where he's like, there are soldiers running at us with guns.
Yeah.
So
we're doing great. And then they just kind of have their badge. So that's cool that they never pretended they were not part of Homeland.
Right.
Like the whole time they're like, no, here we are. Here's our badge.
Exactly.
Like, we're not hiding it.
Very good cover.
Very good cover. And they break into the system. And Toby, like once they get into the vault, Walter's like, we gotta calculate it using this, and then the years, and then the gold, and then this, and then that. And I was like, you've lost me, Walter. How are you gonna calculate this? And if he would have calculated that way, it would have lost. I would have been like, this is ridiculous.
Right.
There's no way that you know the year that this happened, blah, blah, blah. And then Toby's like, how about the manifest? And he's just like looking at it on the wall. They easily find it. And the scepter, this like stick with like a ball and diamonds.
Stick with a ball.
And purple.
Pretty much.
Like, it's like a wand that I would win on my Mario games. You know, at the end when you would win and just go up and catch it. No, Mario?
Yeah.
Super Mario? Yeah. Remember when we played with Gus till like 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
With the new one? And we're like, just bubble your life if you think you're going to die.
Do anything.
This is on the Wii. You know when you guys can bubble? You hit A and then you bubble and float around. You're like, Susannah, if you
just hang out.
Yeah.
All right, you guys do all the work. I'm just going to pass through. We're ready? All right, let's go. Next level.
Winning. No, good times. So that's what I thought that was. It's the scepter is on a pressure plate. Sylvester calculates it. And then Happy uses her tools
to
she
create, calculates the tools.
Love that.
Yeah,
because I believe
surprised that. Yeah. She would totally know her tools and their weights and stuff.
She totally would. And because of that, she figures out that this thing is not really what it is.
Right, exactly.
So like they do the switcheroo. And this is when Toby mentions like Indiana switcheroo, and Walter's like, who's that? A state senator? That was
Indiana
hilarious.
Jones. That was pretty funny.
That was so funny. So they do the Indiana Jones switcheroo that they didn't think was gonna work, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Alarm goes off. The thing starts filling up with water. This tiny room they're in, and Ralph comes to the rescue through the comm and is like, let that thing fill up. It's gonna cause pressure on the door.
Exactly.
And Walter's like, yeah, if we stick a stick in it or something.
The law of something.
And then it's gonna push it out, and we gonna survive. As I was watching, I held my breath as long as they held their breath to see if it was believable. Yeah, it was like right at the edge. I almost died. But I was like, okay, I see you. You guys make it real. Keep it real. I like it. So it does work. The water kind of gets out, and they break the door open. And that's when Happy's like, I would not mess up these calculations. Toby's like, even geniuses can mess up. Shut up, Toby.
Right.
She knows what she's talking about.
Although when they came out of that vault with the door and the water,
and they weren't wet.
The water, and the water, wouldn't that be like rushing behind?
Well, it was like falling through.
Yeah, but there wasn't enough for it to. I don't know. It just didn't look like it matched up. You know how much water was in the vault and how much water was out there, but whatever. my biggest pet peeve about that was I felt like Happy came out like looking dry. Yeah.
Like the water coming out didn't bother me because I saw it go down. I believe that, but it was just like, come on, Happy, look like you're a little wet.
Yeah.
And she figures out, she figures out that this is something's awry with the scepter, and she opens it up, and they find a tube of polonium. Is that what it is? Which is like this really terrible element, poison.
And it could wipe out like a third of the world or something like that with the amount that they have.
There you go. Keep going.
He was like, imagine if this is, just in a sharecrop, or what is it? A crop duster?
Yeah.
Over the Midwest or over China or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Take out everybody.
They could take out everybody in the club. And he killed an MI6 agent. So it's like a really deadly poison.
Right.
So they start to figure out Cook is up to something.
Yeah.
And they figure
start looking into him.
Right. Sylvester does that, but they're still stuck in this room, and they use the pipes. They get a diamond from the scepter, get into the pipe system to escape this room that they're stuck in, and they end up basically in like an underground tank.
Yes.
And they make a joke. Toby makes a joke about how far, and then he's like, "You're right, because if I'm about to die, I don't want my last thing to be said to be a miscalculated fact." And because it's 3 feet, is what Walter says.
Exactly.
And the way to get out is to basically throw one of those bombs that they're testing into their area, and then they're gonna be in the pipe, and they're gonna be fine, because apparently that's how things happen. And it looks like they end up in a bunch of cat litter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a really good estimation.
Even though this was far-fetched, I didn't mind it because it was like when Paige is like, this is not something you want to miscalculate. Yeah. And then Tim's like, you cannot miscalculate this. Yeah. So I didn't mind it as ridiculous as it was.
Because they kind of acknowledged how ridiculous it was. Yeah,
a little bit.
Okay.
So they make it out, and they run out into the woods, and Cook bumps into them in the woods. They give him the scepter, and you don't know what's happening because Walter's like, I have an idea, but you really don't know what the idea is.
But you know they're doing something.
They're doing something. So you think Cook is off with the scepter, and then they do like that whole Ocean's 11 like scene.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they have pickpocketed his badge.
Exactly.
And Walter has to go back into the vault and drop the badge. And they distract the guards using pine cones and bullet powder to create like
It sound
popping
like gunshots.
So he sneaks in, drops the badge, and then as you think Cook is leaving the army base because he doesn't have his badge,
Right.
on the phone, you know, the guard at the entrance is like, oh, yep, he's right here. Great, thank you. And they take him down.
Yeah.
So simple.
Right?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved how they took him down.
Yeah, it wasn't like they're gonna like, hop on him.
Right.
It was just like, all right, you got someone in your car.
You got someone in your
We've all
car.
been there.
Yeah. So what happened to the scepter? Like, does it just go? So, are they not going to tell anyone that there's polonium in the scepter?
Right.
That was not readdressed, and not that I needed it to be, but I thought about that. I'm like, so it just went back, and we're just going to keep it a secret.
Back to Fort Knox, maybe. Yeah.
We don't talk about it. You don't know about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they want anyone to know that Fort Knox
it's
was
there.
broken into.
It's true. Or that there's a vial of polonium that
Yeah.
could kill, half the world or something. So I thought about that, but I love the episode. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Did we cover it all? Let's do quick predictions. Quick.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Do you have any?
Okay, so we were watching
Vamos.
the previews for next week, and then it was a flash. It was like a quick second. I looked back to
you went
watch it
back
again,
to it.
and it looked like it looked like Paige, right? It looked like Paige was face to face with Walter, maybe, and they looked like maybe they were gonna kiss. I doubt they were. It was probably a very misleading, preview.
Maybe CPR?
Right? Just something, you know, like they're just in a close quarters or something. But
Yeah.
they're hinting at it.
Yeah.
So even that they're even hinting at that could be a possibility, I like it. And, even if they're that close, they're going to feel something.
They are going to feel something.
Right? There's going to be something there.
Each other's breath.
And Tim or whatever his name is out of the picture for now, and Linda's out of the picture. So I think it's going to open a window.
So something will happen between them in the next 2 episodes.
A spark.
A
Yeah.
spark. Spark. I say Tim comes back. I feel
Next
like
episode?
No, but the final
Okay,
episode.
the finale.
Yeah, we
maybe.
won't see him next episode. We'll see him the final one.
Yeah.
And if Linda doesn't come back, some other girl's gonna come into the picture
Really?
because I think they've pretty much established like he's gonna come back and he's gonna take Paige out on a date.
Yeah, see, and I think by the time he comes back and he tries to take her on a date,
Okay.
maybe she's gonna be like,
Walter and
I'm
are
conflicted.
Kind of gonna get together.
Conflicted.
And if that happens, okay, if Walter and Paige do end up getting together, that's when we're gonna get the problem between Happy and Toby.
Of course, yeah.
So maybe Susannah's onto something. If you guys want to tweet her and let her know that you agree, maybe disagree, agree with me, I don't know. Let her know.
Yeah.
Susanna, where can they let you know?
You guys can find me at Susannah_Kim. It's SUSANNAH_KIM.
Beautiful. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MONSEBOLANOS. Next week, we will be back at 5 p.m. taping.
Yes.
Not 6 p.m. We're going to be an hour earlier next week. Look at us telling you guys early.
Right?
Being adults over here. Adulting is what this is. So be sure to tune in. Let us know what you think. 2 episodes left to end the season, and we will be here next week. Bye.
Bye. See you then.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.